Today, welcome to my new video on fundamentals of chemistry, which is the continuation of the previous video. I am P. Indira Rajalakshmi, senior lecturer in chemistry, Department of Technical Education. So, we will start the previous video. We have learned till the structure of the atom, that is Niels Bohr structure of the atom. So in that video we have started with the matter, the definition of the matter, and then we have seen what is mass number, atomic number, and then how to represent the mass number and atomic number on the symbol of the atom, and then we have seen the structures of the atom, the fundamental particles of the atom, that is electron, proton, neutron, and their properties, and then how these electrons, proton, neutrons are arranged in an atom, that is the structure of the atom. Different models put forward by different scientists like Dalton, J.J. Thomson, Rutherford, and finally Niels Bohr. And the Niels Bohr model is explained by his postulates, and then that theory also got some merits and demerits. So we have seen all those topics in our previous video. Now, in continuation of that, we will move to the next slide. That is fundamentals of atomic structure, where we will start from here. The orbit, the shapes of the orbitals, distinguish between orbit and orbitals, electronic configuration, and electronic configuration of the elements up to atomic number 30, that is zinc. Okay, so we will move to the next slide. So from here we will start how to write the electronic configuration. The electronic configuration is nothing but the arrangement of the electrons in various orbitals of an atom. Okay, that means the electronic configuration deals with the arrangement of the electrons in different orbitals. Okay, so the configuration is mainly expressed in two methods. First one is NLX method and second one is the box method. So let us see what is the NLX method. In the NLX abbreviation, N stands for the principal quantum number, L stands for the azimuthal quantum number, and X is the number of the electrons present in an orbital. Okay, so before we start the electronic configuration, let us have a brief idea about the quantum numbers. So quantum numbers are four. Those are principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, and magnetic quantum number. And as we know, the first one, the principal quantum number, is represented by the small letter n, and it gives about the size and the energy of the orbit. Those are named as 1, 2, 3, 4 or KLMN. And second quantum number is the azimuthal quantum number. It is represented by the letter small l, and it gives the shapes of the orbitals, the number of sub-energy levels in the orbital. So these values varies from 0 to n minus 1. Okay. So the third one is the magnetic quantum number. It gives the orientation of the orbital in space. That means it represents the number of the orbitals present in a sub-energy level. Okay. So the magnetic quantum number values depends upon the L value. That is, it varies from minus L to plus L through 0. Then The number of the orbitals in a sub-energy level is given by 2L plus 1 formula. And last quantum number is the spin quantum number represented by small s, and it gives the spin of the electron about his own axis. That is, for the electron which is revolving in the clockwise direction, it is plus half, and for the electron which is revolving in the anti-clockwise direction, it is minus half. Okay, so this is the brief idea about the quantum numbers. Okay, now we will see the first method, that is NLX method, where N represents the principal quantum number and L represents the azimuthal quantum number. Now we will move to the next type, that is the box method. In this method, each orbital is indicated by a square. So here the orbital is represented by a square, and the spin of the electron present in each orbital is shown by upward and or downward. That means the electron which is revolving in the clockwise direction is indicated by the upward arrow, and the electron which is revolving in the anti-clockwise direction is represented by the downward arrow. The following principles are required to describe the arrangement of the electrons in an atom. So those are Aufbau principle, Hund's rule, and Pauli's exclusive principle. So Aufbau, Hund's, and Pauli's are the names of the scientist. That means while writing the configuration of an, we should follow all these principles, that is Aufbau, Hund's, and Pauli exclusive principle. Okay, let us start with the first principle, that is Aufbau principle. Aufbau principle, it states that the electrons are added progressively to the various orbitals in the order of increasing of their energy, starting with the orbital of the lowest energy. That means in the Bohr's model, we have seen that as we move from the nucleus, the energy of the orbit goes on increases. That means the energy of the orbit which is very close to the nucleus will be less, and as move away from the nucleus, the energy goes on increases. That means the electrons will be filled in the increasing order of the energy levels. So this energy of an orbital is given by n plus L value. As we know that n represents the principal quantum number and L represents the azimuthal quantum number. That means if we sum up the n and L values, then whichever is having the less n plus L value, the electron will enter into that orbital first. Okay, the new electron enter into the empty orbital whose n plus L value is minimum. Okay, so let us see one example. So if we take the 3s and the 3p, 3s and the 3p configuration of the nitrogen atomic number 7 and mass number 14. So when we write the configuration of the nitrogen, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. That means there are 2 electrons in the s orbital and 3 electrons in the p orbital. Okay, so here the n plus L value, let us check for the each orbital. So for 3s, the n value is 3 and s value is 0. The L value is 0 because we know the L value for s is 0, p is 1, d is 2, and f is 3. So here we have s orbital, so the L value is 0. So when we sum up the n and L value, it comes to 3. And if we take the 3p, then the n value is 3 because it is in the third orbit, and L value is 1 because the L for p is 1. So if we sum up, we will get the value as the 4. That means out of 3 and 4, 3 is the lesser value. So the electron first enters into the 3s orbital and then to the 3p orbital. So if both the orbitals, for example, this is of the orbitals, different orbitals, but having different n plus L values. For example, for any two electrons, if the n plus L value is same, then the electron will enter into the orbital whose n value is less. For example, here I have taken 4s and 3p orbitals. So for 4s and 3p orbital, for 4s n value is n plus L value is 4, and for 3p also the n plus L value is 4, but the n value is less for 3p. That's the reason the electron first will enter into the 3p and then to the 4s. Okay? So this is about the Aufbau principle. So I once again revise this. Aufbau principle says that the electrons will be added up into the orbitals in the increasing order of their energies. So the energy is given by the value n plus L. So for any two electrons, if the n plus L value is same, then the electron will enter into the orbital whose n value is less. So here we have taken two examples. So one is of the 4s and 3d, and other one is of the 4s and 3p. Okay, so this is about the Aufbau principle. Now we'll move to the next principle, that is Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. So this rule says that every orbital in a subshell is singly occupied with one electron before any one orbital is doubly occupied, and all the electrons in singly occupied orbitals have the same spin. That means this rule deals with the pairing up of the electrons in an orbital. So the meaning of this rule, this principle is that the pairing up of the electrons in an orbital, in a degenerated orbitals, that means the orbitals which are having the same energy. The pairing up of the electrons in a degenerated orbitals takes place only when all the orbitals are filled with the single electron. Okay? So that means first it's like this. Suppose we enter, say some 3 or 4 people enter into the bus which is empty. That means all seats are empty. Then how they will prefer to sit? They prefer to sit. Everybody likes to sit in the window seats only. So they all occupy single seats. Then the next stage some more have entered into the bus. Then what they will do? For them there is no choice. So what they will do? They have to pair up with the first ones. Okay. So thus the pairing in the seats takes place. Okay. So in the same manner, here also, when the electrons are entered into the degenerated orbitals, so the pairing starts only when all the orbitals are filled with the single electron. Okay? This can be very well explained by taking the nitrogen as example. So nitrogen, atomic number 7 and mass number 14. So when we write the configuration, it is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3. That means here in the 1s2, 2s2, 2p3, the electrons will occupy singly like this. One in px, one in py and one in the pz. But not like this. 2 in px, 1 in py and no electrons in the pz. This is the wrong way. This is the right way. Okay. So that's about the Hund's rule. So another example, we will take oxygen. Oxygen, atomic number 8. So when we write the configuration, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. That means there are 2 electrons in the 2s and 4 electrons in the 2p. So the pairing will takes place like this. There are a pair in the 2s, a pair in the 2px and single electron in the 2py and single electron in the 2pz. That means y and z orbitals will be singly occupied. Okay, where they won't get paired up in the beginning itself. That's the meaning of the Hund's principle of the maximum multiplicity. I once again revise this. The second principle, that is the Hund's principle of the maximum multiplicity, says that the pairing up of the electrons in an degenerated orbitals takes place only when all the orbitals are filled with the single electron. Okay, that's the Hund's principle. Here we have seen two examples. One is of the nitrogen and other is of the oxygen. Okay, now we will move to the third principle, that is Pauli's exclusive principle. So this principle says like this. The Pauli exclusive principle states that in an atom or molecule, no two electrons can have the same four electronic quantum numbers. As an orbital can contain a maximum of only two electrons, the two electrons must have opposite spin. Okay, so we know that each orbital can accommodate only two electrons, maximum of two electrons. Okay, so if you take any two electrons, in any pair of electron, or whether it may be the two electrons from different orbital or from the two electrons from the same orbital. So if you take any two electrons, a pair of electron, then no two electrons will have all the quantum numbers same. So we have seen that there are four quantum numbers, that is principal, azimuthal, magnetic and spin. So for any two electrons, if at least maximum of three quantum numbers are same, then at least they differ in one quantum number, that is spin quantum number. Okay, so here I have taken the example of hydrogen. So I will take the example of hydrogen. So there are two electrons, and for this pair of the electrons, the n is the same because both two electrons are present in the first orbital. That is for first one n, and for second one also n, 1. And L is 0 for first one and also for the second one. And M is also 0 for first one and second one. Okay. So this rule says that for any pair of electrons, for any two electrons, the quantum numbers will not be same. So I will take one more example. Suppose the two electrons from different orbital. For example, I will take carbon as the example. So carbon, when we write the configuration, it comes as 2, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So here we know that m value varies from minus L to plus L. So if we write the configuration for the two electrons, the n is same, that is 2, 2, but L is different because the L value for S is 0 and L value for P is 1. And M is also different because for S orbital, M is 0 and for L is minus 1. Whereas the S orbital is plus half and minus half for the two orbital. Okay, so this is about the Pauli's exclusive principle. This principle says that no two electrons will have all the quantum numbers same. They differ at least in one quantum number, that is the spin quantum number. Okay, so till now we have seen the three principles to write the configuration. That means while writing the configuration of an element, we should follow all those principles. That is Aufbau principle, Pauli exclusive principle, and Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Okay. Now we will move to the next topic, that is orbit. So what is an orbit? So as we know from the Bohr theory, the orbit, say this is the nucleus, and orbit is the concentric ring around the nucleus where the electrons will revolve. Like how the nucleus can be compared with the sun, like how around the sun the planets are revolving, around the nucleus the electrons are revolving. Okay, so that's what the Bohr gave the definition for the orbit. He says that around the nucleus there are the concentric rings or paths which he named as orbits or shells. Okay? And he also named them as the energy levels because the energy of the each orbit is quantized or it is fixed. Okay? And he named them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or KLMNO. Okay? And as we move away from the nucleus, the size and as well as the energy of the orbit will goes on increases. That means it's like this. Suppose if we take a onion and cut it horizontally, what we'll observe? The peels which are at the center are smaller in size, whereas the peels which are away from the center will be bigger in the size. The same manner, here the orbit which is close to the nucleus will be smaller in size and the orbit which is away from the nucleus will be of bigger in size. And not only the size, the energy also. The orbit or the shell which is close to the nucleus will be having less energy and the orbit which is away from the nucleus will be having the more energy. Okay, so this is about the orbit. Okay, so orbit is a fixed path along which the electrons are revolving around the nucleus of the atom. Thus, all the atoms particularly revolve in an orbit. Okay, so in this video we will stop here and we will continue this topic in the next video. Okay, once again I will recap what we have learned in this video. So we have started with the electronic configuration. So electronic configuration is nothing but the arrangement of the electrons in various orbitals of an atom. And the electronic configuration may be expressed in two ways, either in NLX method or in the box method. Okay? And before going to the study about the electronic configuration, we should have a brief idea about the quantum numbers also. So the quantum numbers are the quantum numbers deals with the electron completely. That means where this electron, in which orbit it is, in which direction it is spinning, and what is the energy, what is its mass, everything. That means the complete address of the electron can be known from these quantum numbers. Okay? So the quantum numbers are 4. The first one is the principal quantum number. It is indicated by small n. These are nothing but the Niels Bohr shells or orbits, the principal quantum numbers. And we know that they are given by the name 1, 2, 3, 4 or KLMNO. And we have just now seen that the orbits are concentric rings around the nucleus where the electrons are revolving. Okay, and as we move away from the nucleus, the energy and also the size of the orbits goes on increases. Then coming to the next quantum number, that is azimuthal quantum number, it is indicated by the letter small l. Okay, these azimuthal quantum numbers deals with the sub-energy levels. Okay, that means in the first orbit there is only one the sub-energy level, that is S, and in the second orbit S and P, and in third orbit S, P and D. Likewise they are arranged. Okay, and the n values will vary from 0 to n minus 1. And third type of the principal quantum number, the third type of the quantum number is the magnetic quantum number. It is represented by the letter m, and its values depends upon the L value, which varies from minus L to plus L. Okay, say for example L value for p orbital is 1. So the m value varies like this. -1, 0, +1. That means 3. That means the p orbital is divided into 3 degenerated orbitals, that are px, py, and pz. Okay? That's how it is represented. Then third quantum number is the spin quantum number. It deals with the spinning of the electron. The electrons not only revolve around the nucleus like Earth, it also spins around its own axis. Okay, so it may spin around its own axis either in clockwise direction or in the anti-clockwise direction. So for the electron which is spinning in clockwise direction, the S value is given as plus half, and for the electron which is spinning in the anti-clockwise direction, the S value is given as the minus half. So that's the briefing about the quantum numbers. So now we'll come back to the electronic configuration, which is represented by two methods, NLX method and box method. So in the NLX method, the N stands for the principal quantum number, that is the first quantum number, and L stands for the azimuthal quantum number, that is the second quantum number, and X stands for the number of the electrons. Okay, for example, have 1s2, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, like that. Okay, then now the other type is the box method. In this method, the orbital is indicated by a box where the electrons, we know that the orbital can occupy only 2 electrons. So the electron which is spinning in the clockwise direction is giving up arrow, and the electron which is spinning in the anti-clockwise direction is given as down arrow indication. Okay, so these are the two methods. We can write the configuration in either of these methods. Now, while writing the configuration, we need to follow the principles, three principles, that are those are Aufbau principle, Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, and Pauli's exclusive principle. So Aufbau principle says that the electrons are added into the orbitals in the increasing order of their energies. So which is given by the n plus L value. That means the electron first will enter into the orbital whose n plus L value is less. Or for any two electrons, if n plus L value is same, then the electron will enter into the orbital whose n value is less. Okay, this is about the Aufbau principle. Now Hund's principle of maximum multiplicity says about the pairing up of the electrons. So this says that the pairing of the electrons in a degenerated orbitals takes place only when all the orbitals are filled with the single electron. Okay, so now we'll move to the next slide. The Pauli exclusive principle. This principle says that if you take any two electrons, whether those two electrons belongs to same orbit or of the different orbit, then the quantum numbers will not be same for all four quantum numbers will not be same for any pair of the electron. So if at all three quantum numbers matches for a pair, differs, definitely it will differ in the third quantum number, that is the spin quantum number. And finally, we have seen the definition of the orbit. So orbit, as per Niels Bohr, these are the shells or the energy levels or the concentric rings or the roads or paths for the electron to revolve. Okay? So orbits are represented as KLMN or 1, 2, 3, 4. And as we move away from the nucleus, the size and the energy of the each orbit goes on increases. So with this, we will in the next video, we will continue the topics. So thanks for watching.